Good morning everyone. So as you can see, I have my rain jacket on, which means yes, it's rain. It's not actually raining at the minute, but it rained all night last night. As you can see, the tent's there behind me, still set up at the moment. The tent's perfectly waterproof, the inside's fine. I mean, what else would you expect from a British made tent, really? Come on. But obviously the outside of it is got water on it, so I need to knock the water off, get the outside as dry as I can, pack the tent up so I can get it on the bike and start the day again. And the bike, the rest of the bike, now that was clever of me, wasn't it? Put my finger in the way. The rest of the bike is already packed up and ready to go. All my stuff's perfectly dry, so everything's cool. So it's just a matter of trying to get the tent as dry as I can before packing it. Because obviously what will happen, even though it's dry on the inside now, if I roll it up with the wet outside, eventually it's going to make the inside damp as well. So it's always one of those things of what you do. Do you leave it? I could stay here if the weather's going to turn nice and dry the tent out, but it could rain again in 5 minutes. So it's always one of those things. What do you do? So I think in this case, I'm just going to knock the water off and roll it up, and I think it will be good. So I have got a big day today as well, which is great. So I have got 110 kilometers to go to Austria. It's a bit of a miscalculation on my part, I think, but I'll have to do it now. And I think I'm going to get rain from about 2 o'clock onwards as well. And I think rain will be a feature now until I get to Bratislava. I think I'm in for a bad week of weather. So at some point, no doubt I'm going to get soaked. But there we go, all part of the fun, apparently. I will speak to you later, guys. Take it easy. Cheers. So we hit the road and it wasn't raining as I left the campground. And the campground, by the way, in Maribor is definitely worth visiting. So if you're going to do a bicycle tour in Slovenia and you're passing through Maribor, I recommend you stay there. It's really well organised and well run. Obviously it was not peak season when I was there, so it was just slightly off peak, but yeah, very good. And as I cycled through Maribor, I realised that the city itself probably deserved a day or 2 days of my time, which unfortunately I didn't have to give on this particular tour, but it's there for the next time. And as I said, I think Slovenia is a great little bicycle touring destination, and I would definitely like to come back for a month or 6 weeks just to check the country out in more detail on the bike. I think there should be some great bicycle touring routes through the country, and it's a lovely place to cycle. Inevitably, the rain did hit me. Just a matter of putting the waterproof gear on and getting on with it, really. It was a bit of a shame because it would have been nice to enjoy the views with a clear blue sky day as my last day in Slovenia, but if it rains, it rains. What else can you do? And I started heading towards the Austrian border, and in front of me it looked like there was a cycling club who were not road cyclists, they're kind of on hybrid bikes. And it must have been a Slovenian club, so it looked like they were going to cycle out of Slovenia into Austria, do some sort of loop and come back. So I ended up following these guys over the border, and the border crossing was very informal. The guy just waved me on and then basically said, hurry up, you can catch them up. So he must have thought I was with their group. So should I have shown the passport or not? I don't know. It's really difficult in Europe to know if you should be showing it or not, because there is this thing called the Schengen area, where once you're inside, technically you don't need to show your passport. But as recent news events have probably shown, with the migrant crisis, etc., etc., those rules can be sidelined somewhat, depending on circumstances. Anyway, I'm into Austria now, and Austria is a country that I visited before when I did my cycle ride from England to Cape Town, and I followed the River Danube mainly at that point. But this is just some random countryside right now. I thought I'd stop off at that river just to show you how full it was with all the water that was falling down. So at this point, as you can see, these houses in Austria, they just lacked the distinctive prettiness or the Slovenian touch. I'm not too sure what the Slovenian touch is. I think it's a lot of windowsill boxes with flowers in, and Austria doesn't seem to have that. But before I talk about Austria, it's probably worthwhile to do a recap of Slovenia. So as I've mentioned, brilliant bicycle touring destination. I would, if somebody was asking me which country in Europe they should do a bicycle tour in, I would definitely say Slovenia. And it's come as a nice pleasant surprise to me, and it's always good to add another country into your favourites, your top 5 favourites list, which it definitely is. So I'd like to return and see a bit more of it. And now then, so we're in Austria and cycling towards a campground that I'm going to be staying in for the night. The aim for the next few days really is just to go through Austria almost as quickly as I can, because I've got an appointment to meet the missus in Bratislava within a couple of days' time. So it'll just be a matter of doing 80 kilometres each day, 100 kilometres camping, and then going on to the next place until I get to Bratislava. But in the meantime, there's some wonderful views as well, of course, and the Austrian countryside is very beautiful, and rolling hills, which I'm sure I'll come to appreciate much more later on. So I'll leave you as I get to the campground. Cheers.
Hi everyone, so the end of a day's ride. That was quite a long one in the end. It was about 110 kilometres. I haven't got the exact score because my GPS ran out of power towards the end, which made finding where I was going very interesting, because obviously I hadn't got any navigation then. But I'm here in the end. I'm staying in a camping place in a place called Bad Waltersdorf. Yes, excellent name. So this is my first night in Austria, and in the camping shop I said, have you got any food here? And they said, no, just beer. Welcome to Austria. So what I've ended up with is, tonight, some leftover tortilla chip things. I had a bag of chips, had my salsa dip from yesterday, pint of milk, and some whatever that is. So that's going to be dinner tonight until I get to a shop tomorrow, because the other thing is it's Sunday and all the shops close in Austria on a Sunday, obviously, apart from cafes and restaurants, which I can't go out to because it's now pissing down with rain. But anyway, who cares? The tent's set up and I'm inside in the dry in here, so I'm going to eat my food and make this video for you guys, plan the road ahead, and then get some sleep later on. Take it easy and I'll speak to you later. Cheers for now.